Hi everybody, let's talk about OSHA reporting. The submission date for the injury and illness reporting has been extended to December the 15th, so we want to make sure that we get our 300A in on the electronic portion of our injuries and illnesses. So what I ask you to do is go to the OSHA website, osha.gov. Go to the OSHA website, and when you see the website, you see the home page. Right here, there are these three little icons, three little dots for some rotating pictures. Now, the one we're looking for is on the first dot. The first dot says submission date for injury and illness report is extended, and it tells you that employers now have till December the 15th to electronically submit your 300A form. Now, in 2017, it becomes pretty simple, really. All you have to do is load in the information off your 300A form. Now, when we roll over into 2018, it's going to be a little more complicated because a lot of people, a lot of companies will have to implement their 300A, their 300, and their 301, and that's a little more difficult, but not terribly difficult. You have to know a little bit about Excel and some CVS or CSV forms that you can download from OSHA, and it should simplify the process quite a bit. But let's talk about this for a moment. Now, I've pulled down some information just to make sure that we're all on track, and this comes right from the U.S. Department of Labor. This comes from the OSHA website, which once you click on it, this is what will come up. And it talks about when the requirements became effective. Of course, they became effective January 1, 2017. The new recording requirements will be phased in over a 2-year period, 2017-2018. All covered establishments must submit information of their completed 2016 300A by December 15th, 2017. Now, whenever you click on this, you'll see this little blue icon here in the corner, and it says Launch ITA, which is Injury Tracking Application. For this year, for getting your information in before December the 15th, all you need is your 300A form. Once you click on that icon that says Launch ITA, you're going to have to set up a username password. Then you'll fill in some information about your industry or about your particular business. And at that point, you'll go in and you'll enter in information from your 300A program. It's not really complicated, but it's something that's a requirement to do if you're keeping up with 300, 301, and 300A. Also, it tells you here that covered establishments, now this is in 2018. 2017 is pretty simple. Remember, it's just your 300A and the information off from it. You don't have to upload any documents. You just need to input the information off your 300A. But when we roll over into 2018, it gets a little more complicated. Covered establishments with 200 or 50 more employees must submit information from all completed 2017 forms. Remember, this is in 2018, 300A, 300, and 301 by July the 1st, 2018. So you want to make sure you keep that date in mind. And covered establishments with 20 to 249 employees must submit information from their completed 2017 300A by July 1, 2018. So we're looking at 2 periods here. The first one is the critical. This is the one we need to pull the trigger on right now because you're on a deadline of December the 15th, 2017, just a few days away. Get your 300A from 2016. Be sure you sit down and launch your ITA, set up your username and password, and then start filling in the information about your company or your business, and then you'll have the opportunity to implement all of the numbers that you need to punch in from your 300A that would submit the data that they want for 2017. Again, when we roll over into 2018, a little more complicated, 300A, 300, 301, and in a lot of states, remember, your workers' comp first report of injury is comparable to the 301. Now, the trick to finding that is when you look at your workers' comp first report of injury. Now, all states are not like this. Some states are like this. Look at your form, your workers' comp first report of injury. I'll use Alabama as an example. Alabama First Report of Injury, at the top right corner where you start filling in information, it says OSHA case number. If it says that, then that form is comparable to a 301. So you don't have to duplicate paperwork. You can make a copy of your 301 or make a copy of your first report of injury, and that will suffice for the 301 form that you would upload to OSHA. It's not a complicated thing, a lot of information, and I'm sure they're going to be flooded with information. But also remember that if you're covered under a state agency, then you need to contact your state agency, because right now, states that have their own state OSHAs, they're not required to implement or report this information. So you'll need to contact your state agency to make sure. But if you're covered under the federal agency, then December the 15th is the deadline to get your information in for your OSHA 300A form. And I hope this helps. Just remember, go to OSHA.gov. On that first little dot, that first little icon that we showed you earlier is the easiest way to get to it. It's the quickest way. And to launch that ITA, and it'll give you a lot of information. There are a lot of different questions that have already been answered that I think will help you. And then you can go from there. But I hope this has been somewhat informal, and so that you can get your information over to OSHA and maybe not run into any penalties down the road. Thank you, and good luck. If there's anything we can help you with, obviously at Safety Info, we are more than happy to help you. Thank you.